What's going on, guys? So you have followed me around over the years, and over that time, you've also got to meet members of my team. And today I want to introduce you to my executive assistant, Felicia. What's going on?
Everything good, excited. It's my first podcast.
Yeah, a little nervous?
I don't even know. I'm such at the level of nervousness and that I don't know. So
Oh, no, you're a natural. You're a natural because obviously you're posting content on Instagram, you're posting content on YouTube, and you absolutely crush it. And if for any of you who are watching this, if you're interested in AI specifically, go check out her channel, check out her Instagram. She's very good at that. I literally know nothing about AI outside of how to, from an outreach perspective, and how you can make it more efficient, and obviously like Terminator's taking over the world. But if you want to find ways to create content, create newsletters, edit YouTube videos, and I even saw you doing something the other day with like speaking Arabic or something.
AI.
Yeah, AI. Yeah, I saw some video and I thought she had been lying to me all these years. I thought she actually spoke Arabic. I actually thought it was you. But yeah, so today, this is going to be the first of many podcasts, guys. Let me know down in the comments if you want to see more of these, because obviously they'll get better and better and better as we do more of them. But if you do want to see more, if you have any topics for future episodes, let us know in the comments. So do you have any questions for me? And actually, I have one question for you. What is it like working for me? So that way it's public.
No way, you have access to my phone. I have the same question for you. First of all, I haven't worked before with such a professional person. So it was kind of scary for me when you reached out to me. We're going to talk about it later, like our story, how did we met. So what it's like to work with you? It's a complete another level. So I upgraded myself. Like my CV from before, I think it's completely bullshit versus it's not that I'm like being unhumble, but it's very, very true because the people you've been connected with, the level of the things, everything you do are like completely different that I've worked before. So I learned a lot from you.
No, I appreciate that. And so what were some of the things you were doing before you and I worked together? I know because you even taught me something whenever we were first getting started, because I had no idea it was something to do with content, promo videos or something, content creation.
Yes, so I was working for an American brand from Eastern Europe in my country.
Okay.
And I've never did personal branding for someone before, so working for a person, only companies. So this is something a little bit different that I've done before. So I was pretty interesting in your offer. Why not? Thank God I accepted your opportunity because in 1 year we've grown a lot.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, we've grown a ton. So one thing that I wanted to ask, and then I want you to start asking some of the questions, but one thing I wanted to ask is like creating content for brands a good skill to build? Because like I teach people how to sell any skill under the sun, but specifically social media management. But using AI, could you actually go out and and what's the proper word? It was like content something. Cease.
What do you mean? Content creation?
The thing that you did before, content creation.
Social media management and content creation.
There's some word that you used for it that I was like, what is this? It's like CC something, C.
SMM?
No. Because whenever you told me, it's like the videos. Somebody would send you a product, you film a video, you post it.
UGC. User-generated content.
Yeah, which is, in my opinion, a completely made-up word. But like, could you use AI? Could you use AI for UGC to like take on clients, or is it better to actually film the content yourself?
I haven't done UGC for a long time because once working with you
upgraded to me, you know.
Yes, you gave me completely different tasks. So can you, if you're asking from the perspective of are there at the moment any AI tools that could help make UGC? Not yet, at least from my searches, from my experience, but there are a lot of AI tools that could make content creation, even podcasts, way more easier.
Yeah, for sure.
For content creation, social media management, and everything that is related to marketing, social media-wise, yes. UGC, not really. And here is another question, another thing as well. Depends. UGC is way more popular and the demand of UGC in America is way higher than in Europe or here in Dubai, so it's not very known. So again, depends where you target the audience. If for America, maybe they have AI tools, but I don't know about because they are not popular.
Oh, yes. So we can just stick to teaching them actually how to create actual content. But with that said, I'm going to pass it over to you. Do you have any spicy questions for the audience?
We'll leave the spiciness for the end of the podcast. And we're going to begin from the beginning.
Okay.
How we say. So we are in Dubai now. You love it so far, right?
Yeah, it's pretty solid. It's pretty solid.
Why did you move here? Because it's pretty funny. We both didn't plan to move here. Like being back in the country we were at, we weren't like, okay, we're going to move to Dubai. We just came here business-wise. I don't know why did you... how was the point that you said that, okay, I'm going to move here? But,
Easy.
I just called my mom, and I like Dubai so much that I just called my mom and told her, Mom, sorry, I'm not coming back home. She, freaked out. What about you? How...
So for me at the
was
time, I
process?
was living in Paraguay, and Paraguay is awesome from the sense of very simple, it's safe, it's low cost. You can live like a king on like $6-7 grand a month, probably even less. But yeah, it's all in all pretty good, but it gets very boring. Like the coolest thing that I could say I would do is I would go to La Cabrera. I knew the owner, so I got like VIP treatment, so that was cool. I would go to the mall, get coffee, and that's basically the entirety of what you can do in Paraguay. So Paraguay is awesome, it's just very boring. And
so this is boring, what you were doing. This is boring for you.
I'd like a little bit more stimulation, we can call. But anyways, the next thing that I didn't like was every table that I was at, I was like the top person. I don't like to be the top person at every single table. I like to be like, man, I need to level up. And outside of like one person that's coming to my mind right now, it's a friend of mine. Outside of that, that was the only person there that I actually considered like equal level. So Dubai, though, you come here and you're around, at least with my network. My network, I've got people from e-com all the way to tons of other business interests. So here in Dubai, I'm able to be at tables where I can provide value, but also I get value. And so that was like the final reason why I decided to move to Dubai. I flew from Paraguay over there, and you could say also a 15-hour flight helped motivate me as well because I didn't feel like going back. And I told Colson, I was like, hey, bro, you can have my apartment, and I'll see if this is a good place. And basically have been here now outside of some of the travels and stuff that have happened. I've been here now for what, like a year and a half, 2 years, something like that. About a year and a half.
For a year and a half
Year
more.
and a half. And moved here, and then I moved Colson here, and then shortly after that, you and I started talking, and then you moved here to work, and here we are.
Yeah, so we didn't plan on moving here, and here we are.
Oh, and I never saw I saw myself living in Paraguay for the next like year or two, and then maybe a couple times a year going to Europe or maybe going to see America to visit family or something. But outside of that, no, I never saw myself living in Dubai. I came to Dubai in 2019, and I think I was here for a month, and then I left. I went to Georgia, I went to Budapest, and that was when I started doing a little bit of my travels. Because here in 2019, I was still building up my business. So if you're only making a couple grand a month and you live in Dubai, it's just not good. At least for the circles that I roll with.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, yeah, I'm going to move somewhere else cheaper. So yeah, I didn't really ever see myself coming back to Dubai outside of just visiting, but here we are in the beautiful Dubai.
I remember you also told me that you're not coming back until you can actually afford to enjoy from a financial standpoint.
True. So yeah, that's a good point. So you listen to everything I say. Two things that I like, or that I said back in the day was, one, I refused to go back to visit family until I could fly business class without it like bankrupting me. So I didn't see family for probably 2.5 years because obviously COVID happened and that messed things up as far as like travels. Like I refused to go back. And the second thing was if I came back to Dubai, I wanted to actually be able to enjoy it. So yeah, that for anybody that's watching this, you need to set it's not about downplaying what your goals are and what it is you want. It's about increasing your output and normalizing the reality you want. So that's why you have to go out there and build a business. You have to go out there and get skills, and it takes as long as it takes. That's something that people ask me all the time is, well, but Dylan, how long is it going to take? It's going to take as long as it takes. All you can focus on is the outputs you're doing on a day-to-day basis and money-making activities. You need to be doing outreach to clients, you need to be posting content, and doing all that type of stuff. And I've done that time and time again to continuously level myself up, because one issue that I've had in my life, that everybody has, is I'll level up and then I stagnate. And then I get annoyed, and then I level up again, then I stagnate. And I think that's going to be a recurring theme, because I've seen it myself, I've seen it in other people, is you reach the life that you dreamed of, and then it's not good enough. You stagnate, and you're like, ah. But it's not about being ungrateful. You need to be grateful. Otherwise, you'll lose everything. You need to be grateful, but don't get so easygoing in that situation that you just stagnate with your skills. You're not really trying. It's just easy mode. Now, maybe I'll change my mind if I ever become like a billionaire or something, but we'll see about that.
You're very close to that, actually. You're talking like this, like you're not at the very high financial level, so who knows?
I like to be humble and downplay myself. I'm a mere Romanian sheep herder. That's what I like to say.
That's actually one of the things, guys, that I admire about him, even though he's at a way higher level than the most people nowadays. He's very humble, and I think most of guys nowadays should take example from him, especially from your network.
Mm-hmm.
You talked about being humble and also being appreciative, like thankful. Especially we're such in a place like Dubai now, where everything is flashy, lots of distractions. And I have a very thoughtful, deep question. How did you find God, and how would you recommend someone to go about finding faith
Interesting.
in
I
God?
didn't think those were the questions going. So I found God through my mom, honestly. Like, she introduced me to that. So I'm a Christian, and it's always been like I guess, the foundation of my confidence, the foundation of my life. I've seen so many examples growing up with her, seeing how she would completely be out of money, and she would pray for it, and then out of nowhere, somebody would reach out, hey, I was just thinking about you, and then they would send the exact amount of money that she needed to pay the bills, and then food. And then in my own life, I've had situations where I probably should have died, and I didn't. And so I don't know, I've always walked around with a sense of protection. Like, I genuinely feel protected. And without God, like, what's the point of everything? Like, you can only make so much money, you can only have so many luxury things, like, and then you're just empty. And I also identified that here in like Dubai, and as I've traveled, as people get so caught up in the light of, ooh, I've got a fancy bag and I'm going to the nice restaurants. Let me let everybody on social media know that I'm an amazing person and I'm super awesome. So they post all over social media, but then they go home at night and they feel empty. They feel empty during the daytime. So then they want to just continuously live in this cycle, and they're never happy. I've got a couple of people that they're very good people, but they've been caught up in that cycle for a long, long time. And for me personally, God is like the foundation of my life. Like, I'm not one of those people that's like, you have to believe exactly what I believe. I don't care. For me personally, it works. For people on my team, it works. So it is what it is. We can compare results.
Do you pray? How do you pray?
Yeah, I mean, I do the Lord's Prayer throughout the day randomly, but I would say 95% of my praying is just a conversation to God, conversation to the Holy Spirit, to Christ, etc. So
You also read the Bible?
Yeah, I
Very
read the Bible.
attractive.
yeah, yeah, I read the Bible quite often. A lot of the time it's on my phone. Like, I do have a Bible, but a lot of time it's actually just on my phone. I'll look for specific types of verses. Example, a verse about relationships, a verse about confidence. Literally everything you want to find, you can and learn about is in the Bible, like Psalms, Proverbs, etc. But yeah, for me, prayer is just like a personal connection between you and God, and just having a conversation. One area that most people mess up when they're praying, though, is they pray from a sense of lack. They pray from a sense of, oh, I hope this happens. But you literally in the Bible, it says pray as if you've already been given it, essentially. And it's not just about praying for financial and material stuff, but like, whenever you're talking to God, if you truly trust in God, you should know that's going to happen on His time, and that if you're a child of God, He's going to take care of you. It would be like if I had a child, I'm going to do everything I can to make the child, or take care of the child, give the child what it wants, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So imagine that, but it's God. That's unlimited power and all of that. So for anybody who's watching this, whenever you're praying, stop praying from like this need and like, oh, I just absolutely need this and I hope it happens. Pray with confidence, and don't keep repeating the same thing. In the Bible, it says something about don't pray like the pagans. Like, the pagans will just keep repeating these like affirmations over and over and over again. Just literally talk to God, keep it respectful as if it's already happened, and go back to your day and actually work. Like a lot of people will pray about money, they'll pray about whatever it is, and they don't do anything. It's the problem I have with the law of attraction crowd, where they think that they can just think thoughts and their life is going to magically change. Like you got to get up off the couch and go start a business or get in the gym, go talk to that girl that you find attractive. If you're interested in building a family, whatever it is, you need to actually go out there and do it. And you have to move with the confidence. And like I said, a lot of my confidence comes from God.
There's also this misconception that, oh, I've never seen him, I've never felt him.
Mm-hmm.
Why should I believe in him?
Mm-hmm.
And let's take air as an example. Like you can breathe, you use air to breathe, so it's like air is for breathing.
Breathing.
Yeah, you should teach me English.
Yeah, I'll teach you English.
But you can see it, you can't feel it, even though you use a microscope or something. You still don't see like air. You see dust or some atoms, but it's air. So same with God. Have you ever? And the funny thing is that people that never prayed or prayed but not correct in a right way, they say that God doesn't exist or it never helps me. But you made a very good point. Pray like it's already happened. So you should already pray in a way that God, like this comes along with like manifesting. Like imagine like God already gave you or made you achieve certain things.
Yeah,
and
for
then
sure.
it will happen. Plus, of course, if you'll only pray and do nothing, it's also from the Bible, like you should be very hardworking. Otherwise, if you see him being lazy, of course, he won't throw with money from the air at you.
God honors people that work hard. I mean, even as a man, you're supposed to be working hard and toiling and doing all of that. It's from Adam and Eve. Like we're supposed to be struggling and suffering and stuff like that. But one point that you made about the manifestation thing, I'm down to the manifestation. I believe in it genuinely, but one thing, and I've talked about this before and I got hate about it, and then people were like, oh, wait, Dylan's right. A lot of manifestation and these law of attraction things are demonic. They want you to believe that you're the creator of your own reality, that you're almost like a god. It's literally the same lie that's been there since, Genesis in the Bible, where the devil convinced, or the serpent convinced that they could be like God. And then whenever, if you go to the Tower of Babel, they wanted to be able to get all the way to heaven and go to, literally get to heaven and become like God. So for me personally, I did get deep into the law of attraction and all that, but I found myself not feeling fulfilled, and I don't like the way it makes me feel. And as I've gained more maturity, gained more experience, I've realized that it really is mostly for marketing, number one. But number two, it's for low IQ people that just don't, they feel like they're lacking something instead of just turning to God and then having a genuine relationship, being on Team MBM, something like that. They seek all this other stuff, like law of attraction or this. Let me buy this mindset book. It is demonic in the sense of if you're trying to be your own God. Like I genuinely do not believe that I'm my own God. I do believe I'm maybe a co-creator of my reality through the thoughts that I have, the actions I'm taking, but I don't wake up literally thinking that I'm literally creating every aspect of what's going on day to day. I've had so many experiences where I've seen that the complete opposite is true. Like I've had things that I didn't even know I needed to have happen that put me into a position to where I could then properly level up in whatever area of my life. And I've had that happen time and time again. And also, what's the point of going about your day literally thinking that's premium level narcissism. If you literally think that I am a literal God, I'm creating every single day of my reality. I don't want that kind of pressure. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. It's working very well. And keep God first. As long as you keep God first, and I'm speaking specifically for men right now, if you keep God first and then your mission second, everything else will take care of itself. What is your mission? What are you doing to actually build something for yourself, for your family, and all of that? And then everything else will take care of itself, because by doing that, you'll be a high value man, attract a high value woman, and then you'll be able to have kids, all that type of stuff. And we'll get into the relationship stuff later in the podcast.
No.
Oh, now. Okay.
No.
Okay, let's do it.
You're reading my thoughts. Oh. You talked about God so well. Whenever somebody talks about God, I'm like mesmerized.
Maybe I'll be a preacher one day. Let's see.
Yeah, maybe when you'll be in the 60s, 70s, 80s, when you won't longer be interested in business. and you will want to isolate yourself, you'll just like
I'll put it on airplane mode and just go to some, I don't know, Romanian village and start preaching.
So now you said something about attracting a high value woman, right? Building yourself in that way so that you have the type of qualities to attract a very good girl. A lot of people nowadays find it hard to balance being a successful man, running a business, dealing with the team, keeping it together and strong, and also having a healthy marriage or relationship with a very good girl. How do you balance these two?
You have to normalize the pressure. Like, as an example, whenever I first got started, I could barely motivate my own self to do what I needed to do. I could barely motivate myself. But I adopted the pressure, I normalized it, and then, surprise, surprise, no longer was I procrastinating, having discipline issues or anything like that. And then when it comes to having a team, I wasn't the best at that in the beginning either, but then I kept doing it, kept doing it, kept doing it, kept doing it. Most people are just pussies and they give up too quickly. Like, they're just like, oh no, it's too much pressure. Like, you either want it or you don't. If you want to have an exceptional life, you have to do exceptional things. That's something I teach my students all the time, is if you want to have an exceptional life, you just have to accept that's a part of life. There's never a day where I'm just completely chilling, nothing's happening, and I'm just like able to relax. Even if I'm relaxing, like if let's say I'm sitting by the pool or something, I'm still working. And I would rather live like that than live in a reality where I'm living paycheck to paycheck. Because, oh man, this was like probably 8 years ago, 10 years ago, like struggling for money. I couldn't travel. I could barely afford rent. Like, that was me 10 years ago. However, I had almost no pressure. It was just figure out how to make some money. So in 2016, that was when I quit my job. I don't know if that was 10 years ago. 2016, quit my job. From there, I did a bunch of little side hustles, but I didn't have the pressure of running a team. I didn't have the pressure of relationships. I didn't have the pressure of needing to be places or anything like that. And I was absolutely miserable, like just absolutely miserable. So you have to reach a point in your life where this is just a way of being. It's a way of your life. Like, I would much rather have constant things to do, texting people, managing people, doing calls, live calls, talking to my students, going over what we need to do, like you and I. Like, I would rather have that every single day than for me to go back to what I used to be. Like, and you have to reach that point in your mind where this is just a lifestyle. It's so normal. Like, for any of the viewers that are watching this, it's normal for them to wake up and then go to school and then go to their job, or wake up and go to their job. That's totally fine, but this life is so normal to me at this point, because it's taken years, so don't think it's just going to happen like that, but you will get to a point where it's just second nature. Like, as an example, I posted a video on YouTube the other day about how to speak better, and I posted a video of me years and years and years ago, and it was terrible. I literally can't stand how I used to sound. However, through me just simply speaking more and more and more and training my voice, I got to where I can speak quite well.
I can tell.
Some people say I have a seductive radio voice. Who knows? But you just need to train it. You need to normalize it. And life is way more simple than most people make it. They make it super complicated, and they don't have patience. As long as you have patience, but you work every day and you just focus on getting better and better and better every single day, in just little ways, everything's going to work out. From a relationship standpoint, that applies. From managing a team, that applies. From money, that applies. Mindset, everything. All that is the foundation of it.
As always. Speaking about relationships, but related to AI.
Oh, you found out about my AI girlfriend? Oh, I was trying to hide that. Guys, I have an AI girlfriend.
So how do you think AI, and how much do you think AI will impact modern dating and relationships? For worse or for better?
It'll be even worse for, I'd say, the average person. The average person, most people nowadays, I've looked at the stats, most men are not getting into relationships or even having sex, period. And then if you look at the population, it's declining, especially white people. Guys, if you're white, go have some kids. Have like 4 kids right now if you're white. But anyways, the white population's declining. If you look at Japan, their population's declining. Like, it's going to be bad, but it's going to serve certain people that I won't name. It'll serve certain purposes to decrease the population of the world so that it's easier to manage and all of that, using my words very specifically so that we can keep this up on YouTube. And yeah, it's going to sedate most men. It's going to further take that fire out of man's heart to where they want to wake up every single day. Like their men will literally work 100 hours a week to be able to provide for their wife. They just want their wife to be able to live a perfect life, be able to stay at home if that's what she wants to do. Men will do that. But as men start getting more involved with video games, virtual reality, Neuralink, AI girlfriends, like what's the point? If I've got an AI girlfriend, what's the point of me wanting to become my best self so that I can have a girl that finds me attractive and build a family with? Like, it's just not going to be there. So as far as the timeline, I have no idea. I know that AI influencers, AI girlfriends are kind of a thing now. If you look at Japan, they're very, very hedonistic. They've got a term for men, they're salary men. They run around in suits.
Robots.
Basically. Oh, it's actual humans, though.
Or NPC, how you said.
They're NPC. I like
They're
that.
actually a funny term that I've never ever heard about.
Really?
Yes, and I learned from you, and I'm very interesting. How do you define it? No.
Non-playable character.
Non-playable.
Like, I would consider myself a main character. You're a main character. But yeah, like in Japan, they've got salarymen that literally they work 50, 60, 70, 80, 100 hours a week. They watch porn. They have AI girlfriends. They play video games. They don't want to have a relationship. And women there want to have a relationship, but then they've had the feminist idea of, I'm equal to men. I don't need a man. I'm going to have a career, blah, 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 blah. It's poisoned their mind so much that now even they are not wanting to date. And so if you look at Japan's population, it's just declining. So that'll get even worse with AI. I can kind of get a little inappropriate here. There are AI things with certain devices that will make that even more attractive for men, as in they won't have to go and seek a partner for certain releases, I'll call it, which that's going to be terrible. But the biggest thing we need to focus on as for humans is obviously fixing ourselves first. You can't save anybody else if you don't save yourself, but also have more kids. You got to have more kids. The amount of people that I talk to in my circle that have families and have kids, they talk about just how, like, yeah, the money's great, the business is awesome, but having kids is like just a whole another layer of happiness and fulfillment from that. But then also, even in the Bible, it says, be like, multiply, go out and have kids, and God will bless you as you have kids. So have kids, otherwise the population is going to keep going down and down and down, and the global managers will be very happy with you if you don't have kids. Moneybag, I'm going to be very angry at you. So go out there and have kids.
It's funny because in America, actually, there is already a girl that went viral. She made an AI software, and they are testing now, of course, first of all on America, and then they're going to expand in Europe and other countries. And that AI girl, so you can customize everything physically, intellectually. The fortunate thing now is that AI at the moment isn't at that level to be like on the emotional side, same like we are as human being naturally. For example, not as emotional, intelligent,
A Russian
or or on the opposite, it doesn't detect like the differences between a man and a woman biologically, because you guys are more stoic, more logical. We are more we are more emotional. So at the moment, fortunately, AI is not at that level of capacity.
But you can customize it, though.
Physically and intellectually,
Okay.
like certain
Russian, brown hair, leopard color dress, white jacket. Okay. Guys, she's actually my AI girlfriend / assistant / executive assistant. She's not real. She's actually AI. This is complete virtual reality. I wanted to test this new technology on you. For the first time ever, we've been working hard on it for 10 years. She's actually AI. Let me know in the comments if you're impressed. I bet this whole time you thought that she was an actual girl, an actual woman. She's actually AI. Let me know in the comments right now what you think. But anyways,
that's turn me on. No.
Okay, let me turn you on. But yeah, that's going to get some comments flowing. But
especially it will, sorry for interrupting, it will affect mainly how you said, and you made a super good point, men, because nowadays they are extremely depressed, addicted to porn, to low dopamine. So they
Mindless
will
scrolling. Ugh.
exactly. So they will look for convenience. So the having not putting any effort in an actual relationship, and this is again another thing. Men don't have a problem dating or finding a girl, but finding a girl that is actually worth marrying or worth their time and worth investing in. But it's not about that. So it will be like very convenient and very good for them just to go on their phone, laptop, customize it, and just everything like picture perfect. But again, I don't know if it's for better. I don't think so.
It'll create a lot of depression. It'll create a lot of
Way more.
just more men will be lost. But hey, I welcome it. More and more of them will come and find my content. More of them will come and find the real world. More of them will just actually, if you want to live an actual masculine life, will find like content like this, and there's going to be even more opportunity out there for them. Otherwise, yeah, they're just going to get addicted to these AI nonsense things.
We're diving today so deeper into relationships, and now is a more not spicy but a more deeper question, but very simple. What's your biggest turn off in women, girls?
Oh, easy. Number one, I've got a list of them. One second, let me pull it out of my pocket.
Not as big as mine, though. You know the difference between men and women.
The biggest one would definitely be if the girl is giving other men attention. Specifically, that could be posting sexy pictures online with the intent. It's called a thirst trap. Even if they DM them, that's a no-no. If they talk to them IRL, definitely a no-no. The second would be drama, because I wouldn't say my life is stressful, but I do have a lot of things going on at every second of the day. So if I'm having to sit there and be like, "No, baby," blah, 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 just going back and forth all day, that's going to be super annoying. Or, "I'm so sorry, okay, this, that." Like, let's be on a boat to Paradise Island together. My girl and me on a boat to Paradise Island. Like, make my life better. I know for a fact I'm going to make your life better. Let's just stay on the boat. Let's stay focused. And which would lead into the third one is you need to understand who I am. Like, you can have your whatever preferences that you have, but you have to understand who I am, the value that I bring to you, the value that I will bring in the future, and just be patient. Like, we're going to be on this journey together forever, and just give me the space that I need to, but also don't be too distant. Like, because I get it. Some girls at like, they're either drama or they're distant. Both of those are bad.
How would you categorize me?
I mean, specifically, like when it comes to doing outreach, you're amazing. Like, you were actually super, super amazing at that. Very quick, very fast. Other times, like if I'm asking for an update and then you don't say anything for like 2-3 hours, and then you're like, "Oh, sorry, I was in the shower. I'll update you now."
I should take my phone into the shower.
Of course. And yeah, I mean, outside of that though, you're very responsive. You're good. And guys, if you do want to see more of these podcasts, obviously this is just the first one ever. I know you guys absolutely love this podcast so far. Let us know down in the comments below what other topics you want. Let us know just how amazing I look today. And just let us know that you want to see more of these podcasts. Anyways.
Are you interested to know what are my turnoffs?
Yes, I was staying up late last night.
Stop.
I was staying up late last night. I think it was like 3-4 in the morning thinking about this podcast. And I was like, "Oh, this is going to be a good question." So
Another thing I like about him, he's so sarcastic, but sometimes he is like the highest level of sarcasm that you can't tell is he serious or very sarcastic. And these kind of men are very dangerous.
No,
because you can't tell.
I'm being absolutely serious. I was staying up late last night, pacing back and forth in my room. I ended up going and actually waking up Colson. I was like, "Colson, I've got to figure this out. I've been thinking about it." He's like, "Oh, Dylan, just go back to bed. It's 4 a.m. I was like, "No." So I haven't slept at all. 12 hours. I'm kidding.
I can't tell. You actually look very energetic today.
That's because you and I you're my little Energizer bunny.
That's part of my tasks that you daily, when you send me the list of the tasks, Alicia, make sure to give me energy.
Good energy, for sure.
Good, of course.
So what are your turnoffs? And let's keep it to like 3 or 4. Let's not go to like 2 billion.
Thanks for mentioning.
We don't need 2 billion. We need like 2 or 3.
2 billion, still not enough. Okay, 3. First and the most important, when he doesn't have the ability to lead. So when he's basically like a girl, like a baby. So
What do you want to eat, baby? What do you want to eat tonight?
You can't make decisions. You can't lead. So this is very unattractive. Even though today's girls, they don't even notice, or for them, because they are feminists or they are very masculine, for them is very convenient and they pretend liking it. Naturally, biologically, us as women, we do not like it.
I mean, if you're having everything paid for and you just have to kind of put up with some stuff, like just say the average girl, they'll put up with it for a little bit. But I like that as far as they don't like... women at the end of the day want a man that actually knows what he's doing. They want a competent man. They like a man that leads. So yeah, I agree. So that's one of your turnoffs. What would be your second?
He is the opposite of what I said.
Yeah.
And here I wanted to complete. So I watched a podcast, a girl that said the other day, and I want to paraphrase what she said. So the ability that I can be with him and turn my brain off. I think we sent the reel to each other where she was saying this, and he'll just I trust him so much that I just turn my brain off and he does all the work. I just follow into him. Maybe because I like God and I read the Bible a lot. This is actually what the Bible says. Like, you just need to be wise to pick a man that you should just follow. So no much of how you said. Just follow and lean into him.
Yeah.
So yes, another one, I think it's similar to yours. So when the man likes any attention, and it's not because of attention what attention mean as a term, but it's because of, even though girls won't recognize this, but it looks very unattractive because of the fact that we perceive this very desperate. For example, when the man tries to over impress the girl on a first date that he barely knows, of course this is with a reason. He wants to get something out of her, but I'm talking within the context of wanting something serious with her. So when you're being overly flashy or bragging a lot about yourself, or even more funny about the things that you don't actually have, we know.
No, we know.
Some people like this, the people that have the most things, you actually told me, they will never brag about those things because they don't need they are so relaxed that they don't even need to vocalize it to say.
I mean, remember that one dinner, without naming names or specifics, but there are certain people at the table, there's blah, 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 just talking a lot, and versus, and you actually noticed this because I was
Did
just
you remember
enjoying
the girls? They were so not close to him.
Yeah.
So
But
girls are wise.
yeah, versus on my end, I was just stoic. I would talk, but otherwise I was just working from my phone. You
read my thoughts because Stoicism is the third one. I gifted you a book the other day about being stoic. Yes.
Yeah.
So super stoic. So the ability of staying very, how do you call it? Firm, calm, stoic in challenging, dramatic situations. So being able to think about the situation and problem solver without panicking or basically acting over emotional as a girl. And people perceive this in a wrong way. Some men think that if you cry or if you're being a little bit emotional when it's, for example, a girl that you love makes for you something, a cake, or you see your mom that you didn't see for a long time and you cry, being emotional on this side, that is very human, you are perceived as weak. For example, you crying, but it's not like this. You are perceived as weak if you act overly emotional as a girl in situations that you should handle, be very calm and stoic and actually be logical and handle the situations. So yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%. Being stoic is definitely a big thing. The crying aspect, think it completely, and you essentially said this, depends on the context. Depends on the context. And like if a guy was like, "Oh, baby, don't leave me," even though you might like that in the moment, I think ultimately you wouldn't like that. And also, one little thing I want to add in about the Daily Stoic.
Okay.
That's Ryan Holiday, right?
Yes, right.
He's a total nerd. He is a total. The book itself is great. It's got some cool quotes actually, but he's a total nerd. He's like a pencil neck, and he, if I remember correctly, went like there's a specific reason. Yeah, he went on this emotional outburst. He's Mr. Stoic, Daily Stoic, but he went on some emotional outburst about something that, and I want to say it's what happened in 2019. So if that's the topic, a certain thing, if you know what I mean. So I'm not going to name it. But Ryan Holiday or pencil neck. Anyways, back to what we were talking about.
Gosh, you're so straightforward.
I've been wanting to tell you that for a while. What better way to do it on a podcast? I literally have been wanting to tell you about that since the day you got me the Daily Stoic, and I completely forgot, but here we are. So shout out to you, Ryan Holiday, for being the biggest pencil neck. Does that make sense? Biggest pencil neck, emotional, crybaby, anti-stoic. Okay.
How is working for me as your assistant? So I know you have a lot of experience with working with different kind of people, both men, women, different ages. But from what I know, I'm the youngest person that you've ever worked before at such a important position in your company.
Position, yeah. An important position. You're the youngest. That's what I'm saying. Like I've got some video editors that are like 17, 18.
Ah, okay.
But you're the youngest executive assistant.
What kind of positions? What are the companies you have?
But yeah, I mean, us working together, I like it a lot. You bring a lot of energy. Like there's never a boring day with you on the team. Versus if it's just me and a bunch of like Colson, Christian, etc. It's literally we'll all be in separate rooms. We don't leave outside of training together. We're just working. Versus with you being on the team, there's like it's impossible to stagnate. You're always like, if somebody sends out 5 DMs, you'll send 35 DMs in like half the time. And I'm just like, so then I'm having to motivate the team, like what is going on, blah, 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 blah. Or you'll say, oh, look at what I did with this AI video of you. And I'm speaking in Arabic or I'm speaking Spanish. And you've got that youthful energy, creativity, and all that, which has definitely been a nice addition to the team. Because like on my end, I would say I'm a very creative person, but I like to work. I'm a workaholic. Colson is just a straight up workaholic. But he's a super good guy. He's a super awesome guy. Christian, we'll talk about that off camera. He's a good guy. I've known him for a while. But yeah, you definitely bring some good energy to the team that was lacking for a while. So mixture of energy, creativity, peace, and all of that. That's why I'll put up with if you don't respond for like an hour, 2 hours. Most people, I'd be bashing on their door. But with you, I'll she's probably just taking a shower or looking at herself in the mirror or on the balcony, reading maybe.
Where did you know?
And I promise I don't have a camera in your apartment. I promise.
I think the AI expert here is not me. What do you think, guys?
Let us know in the comments.
Do you think the school is worth it nowadays? School, university?
Yeah, 100%. I've got students of mine who ask, Dylan, should I drop out of middle school or high school? I don't know what it's like where you're from and where I'm from. There's elementary, middle school, high school, college. Yeah. But I think you should 100% go to high school and finish high school. But college, that's a negotiable. The only time that college makes sense is if you're going to become a doctor, a lawyer, or example, something that I'm also in support of is if you're getting some kind of trades degree. Like if I was going to be an electrician, it would make sense to go and get like a 1-2 year degree for that. But people that go to get marketing degrees, art degrees, all that type of stuff, does not make sense. Like literally doesn't make sense. Like I'm not going to name names, but one person on the team literally went to college to get an arts degree. Biggest waste of time. It's just a complete waste of money. Like unless you're going to go, I don't know, work for Disney or something like that, or marketing. Like why would you go and get a marketing degree? Like Also, speaking about myself, I was going to learn
No, you're
marketing.
speaking about myself.
Well, I'm definitely talking about you. But for me, I went to get a marketing and small business degree, but I realized 6 months in that this professor had never ran a business. And I asked him, I was like, what businesses have you actually ran? And he was like, well, none. I literally packed my bag and left, and I somehow convinced my parents that I was still going to college. And then they found out.
Same.
They convinced them. Then they found out they were very angry. But that's a topic for another podcast. But yeah, in today's world, you're finish high school, but going to college, unless it's for like some kind of trades degree, you're going to become a lawyer, a doctor, etc. You need to, like, example, the real world. You can go and join the real world. You can learn an actual skill and start monetizing it. You're going to make way more money. I was talking to somebody the other day that they went to college for 4 years, and now they've just graduated. They have the summer open. They have no idea what they're going to do next. They're lost. They don't know their job. And then I told them about the real world, and they were like, wait, are you telling me all I had to do was pay $49 a month, and I could have actually learned marketing from somebody that actually did it and actually be making money? And I was like, yeah. So basically they were pissed. So for anybody that's watching this, I don't encourage you, like, go to high school, finish high school, but take like a year off between graduating high school before you go to college and join like the real world and learn from the best social media and client acquisition, aka Moneybag Madden, aka me. Learn from me. We'll get you skilled up, moneyed up, all that type of stuff.
Thanks. Actually, the richest people in the world said that unless you want to become some kind of technician, doctor, it's not really worth doing the university, because what you learn in 3-4 years, in my country, you do university for around 3-4 years. You can learn marketing or business administration or whatever in 1-3 months from a course, like
Jeez.
from a coach or
That's
something.
crazy, and it's way cheaper, I bet.
And what I want to say, I applied for the university in Moldova. I was doing marketing and logistics. And after 1 year, when I went to the classes, okay, not to all of them. I wasn't really a very good student. But when I saw that they are teaching marketing from 2010, and I was like, oh, what? I'm going to go at the market, sell potatoes or tomatoes. I need the marketing from nowadays, social media. I need AI. Nothing. That's why, actually, you came in my life with the opportunity of working with you at a very great time, because I did a year of university, dropped out, and then came to Dubai. And when I saw your offer and how much like we're gonna work together, how big I will grow with you, I was like, oh my gosh. And you were one of the reasons why you dropped out of university.
That's a proud moment.
That's a very good thing.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome.
So, not worth nowadays.
Oh yeah, not worth it at all. Join Team MBM. Drop out of college. I like it. My name's Dylan Madden, and I approve
Not
this message.
out of school, but out of
no,
college.
you have to finish high school. I've told students this. If I find out, because I talk to parents, like some of my younger students, actually have conversations with their parents to make sure they're sticking to what they need to be doing. So if I find out that any of my students drop out before high school, I will personally come to their house and force them to spar me for educational and entertainment purposes only. But anyways, stay in high school, finish it. But when it comes to college, just take like a gap year. Don't go.
Yeah, because in school you learn like the basics. Also, you make your first friends. You like learn the basics from each kind of industry. So school, not dropping out. University, depends. So to end this podcast, I want to ask you a pretty, again, deep but thoughtful question. It's a general question, but you need to think good on it, very well on it. What's your happiest moment you had this year that like really made you super wonderful, amazingly happy?
This year? It can't be like the past year? Because if it was going to be the past year, I was going to come up with something sweet and be like, whenever you started working for the team. My happiest moment. The thing about those types of questions, I like them, but so much of my life actually makes me happy already. There's not like one main, like specifically this year, there's not one main thing that I would say, yep, that was my happiest. Like, I absolutely love seeing my clients crushing it. I absolutely love seeing, they're high net worth individuals. I absolutely love seeing my students crush it, like from beginner, medium, all the way up to Money Back Club level, which they're making tens of thousands of dollars a month. I like to see that you're growing so much. You've matured a lot. You've grown up a lot, especially this year. You're doing absolutely amazing. And the rest of the team, they're doing well, although I need to motivate one of them a little bit more. I'm not going to name names. But yeah, everybody's growing up, they're maturing, they're leveling up, because everybody that surrounds me, I want them to be better. I want them to level up. Obviously, I need to, as the leader, the boss, whatever you call it, I need to be doing the same. So it's motivating. The boss. Rick Ross voice.
I heard balls.
I was going to say something seductive, but I'll keep that off the podcast. But yeah, being the boss, being the leader, you have to make sure that you're leveling up, because I tweeted this out the other day. You could follow me at MoneyBagLives, that as a leader, you need to make sure that you are constantly leveling up your skill set. Like, how can you expect for your team to level up with you and to care if they see that you don't care, that you're not leveling up? So I really lead from the front, and I'm not one of those leaders where it's like, I expect everybody to just know what to do, and why aren't you doing? I am so busy working every single day. I show my team exactly what they need to be doing. Like, one of the first people, he's been with me now for 2 years, that was working with me, like IRL, not remotely. Mm-hmm. Like, he was absolutely blown away, because him and I would literally sit down next to each other for like 10 hours a day working. And I find that very important as leaders. If you are not happy with your team, you need to look in the mirror. Like, if your team sees that, wow, not only is Dylan running the real world, he's also running an agency. He's got another project that I won't name. He's creating content on YouTube. He's creating content on social media. He's taking time to have an amazing assistant. He's taking time to take the team out for some adventure. He's talking to his family. Like, you need to lead from the front. And for anybody that's watching this, even if you don't have a team yet, I would recommend to stop looking to save other people. Save yourself. Look at the man in the mirror and create your alter ego. Like, create your alter ego and become that. How does your alter ego think? How does he talk? And it doesn't need to be some 10.0 version of you that can shoot like laser beams out of his eyes. It needs to be you, but slightly better. And what are they actually doing? How are they thinking? How are they talking? And then act as if that's true through actually doing it. And your life is going to change. That's literally what I've done since 2014. I've basically continuously become better and better and better. This evolution of who I was in my mind through my thinking and my actions. And then the third step, you'll have to get inside of the social media and client acquisition campus to actually actualize all that together.
Yes. You always like to bring value to people, to help people. Mm-hmm. And soon you're going to launch a new book. Tell me more about it. That's why you have an assistant. I know.
I completely forgot about that.
You forgot. I know.
Oh, yeah. Boom. So years and years ago, I created a book called Think and Go Hustle.
Mm-hmm. Read it.
Yeah.
Amazing. As a first book,
Link
so
down
much
in the
value.
description. But yeah, years ago, I put together a book called Think and Go Hustle and I wanted it to be, because by this point, I'd quit my job. I'd started finding what my purpose was. I started not worrying about money. And so I put together a manual really for myself, and it was called the Script. And I put together a script for myself, and it was basically like a manual for me to continue staying on the path and getting better. And a mentor of mine, Victor Pride, who bolddetermined.com, no longer around, but shout out Victor Pride. He was like, Dylan, this needs to be a book. So I made it a book, sold it. I have no idea how many copies it sold, because I didn't create it to make money. It's just made money as a byproduct.
Everything I know, a copy is to me and a copy is to my little sister.
Oh,
she
really?
found it, she's 14 years old. She found it very helpful. So if a 14 years old found very helpful your strategies, everything you have put there.
What do they say? Money bag always delivers. But the new book is going to be the Mad Strategy. The Mad Strategy. I don't have an official release date. If you want to get access to it, join my Telegram group. Either join the Telegram group, or I'll create some opt-in form for it. and that'll be dropping, should be sometime later this year. And it's specifically
We
focused.
want it to be so exclusive. We're still working on it.
Yeah, still working on it. It's 100% focused on making money. It's not a mindset book. So if you want a mindset book, go to Think and Go Hustle. If you want to find your purpose, go to Think and Go Hustle. If you want to make money, if you want to grow on social media, if you want to manage a team and be able to budget your money, do all that type of stuff, the Mad Strategy. That is going to be the only book you need as far as from the perspective of wanting to make money, wanting to grow on social media, and all that. So coming soon. But yeah, do you have any last questions? No? Okay, guys, well, let us know down in the comments. What future topics do you want to see us discuss? What did you think about this episode? I know you absolutely loved it. And yeah, make sure to hit that big subscribe button down below. I'll talk soon.